might have to put some in the inspector's hand.
And I'll go get a rope, you should bring it here in a minute.
Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
The meeting will please come to order. Do we have proof of posting in accordance with Chapter 551 Texas Government Code as amended, known as the Open Meetings Act?
Yes, ma'am.
First of all, we have members of the public who wish to speak. Will each have 3 minutes. Yes, sir.
If I may, Dan Stendhal from Apex Clean Energy, if I may address the board.
Yes.
Thank you. Morning, Judge, Commissioners. My name is Dan Stendhal with Apex Clean Energy. Just wanted to take the opportunity to present our company, a wind energy project that we're excited about, and to provide some details and keep us on schedule too with the 3 minutes. So who is Apex Clean Energy? Why are we excited about a wind energy project in Freestone County? What are some of the community benefits and a proposed timeline? So Apex, we are a US-based, US veteran-founded renewable energy company. We're headquartered in Charlottesville, Virginia. I live and work from San Antonio. We've been in operation for 15 years. We've successfully commercialized over 8 gigawatts of energy projects in the United States. Of those 8 gigawatts, over 3 gigawatts are now operating here in Texas. So this has historically been our largest market, if you might say, year to year for our business. Over the last 15 years that we've been operating, we've developed expertise to identify where projects could be successful or unsuccessful. So successful attributes like, where's the wind resource? Where's the transmission? Is it constructible? Or what to avoid, such as threatened endangered species, military training routes, airspace, floodplain. So based on that approach, we're excited about a wind energy project that we think could be successful in western Freestone and eastern Limestone counties. Some of the community benefits of a project like this would be additional employment, both short-term and long-term during the operations period, diversification of the local tax base for the county and for the school district, for a long-lived infrastructure project, and Apex has world-class community grant and conservation grant programs we bring to any project. And then finally, a little bit on the schedule. We are just starting the leasing phase, much like an oil and gas leasing campaign, speaking to some of the larger landowners to assess their interest. If that's successful, then the next steps would be we'd love to enter into construction as quickly as possible, but there are processes to responsibly develop a project that take multiple years, such as the transmission application process, such as wildlife surveys for raptors, for other threatened endangered species. So if everything goes according to plan, we'd love to enter construction in 2027 and enter COD or have a commercial operation date in 2028. And I'm accompanied here in the area by a colleague named Scott Hughes. Unfortunately, he sends his regrets he couldn't be here today because of a family conflict. But I'm the lead developer for the project, so if you're looking for one throat to choke, look no further. I'm here, I'm happy to take questions, but also I want to keep this on schedule.
Long-term jobs, how many?
So it depends a little bit on the project size, but if we're talking generalities, say a 200 megawatt project-ish, I would expect long-term career jobs about 10 to keep the fleet running.
Are y'all mostly gonna do wind turbines? Is that what you're gonna do?
Yes, sir, that's what we're proposing.
And the wind turbines are gonna be over in Wortham and that part of the area and in Limestone County?
Based on our initial assessment, it's not written in stone, but the area, kind of the AOI or area of interest that we're beginning, it's south of Teague, down to the southern Freestone County, and spilling a little bit over into Limestone.
South of Teague.
I know there's been some land leasing in the Wortham, Limestone County, right there in my area.
Mm-hmm.
And some studies are being done on the wind, on the, what effects it would take on the wildlife and all those kind of things. So is that the company that you're basically working, or the
Sound like
multiple
a
companies?
different, that may be a different bunch.
It may be a different bunch.
Are y'all gonna
It's
ask
gonna be in
for,
this.
Yes, ma'am.
We talked on the phone this morning.
Okay, all right.
are y'all gonna ask for it later?
These projects do compete with one another, so the projects that have tax abatements, they have a bit of an advantage to offer a more competitive power price when competing in a competitive power pool for an ERCOT. So that would eventually be part of a conversation, but I'm not here to ask for anything.
Any upfront money?
So for the landowner,
No. The tax rate would be based on, and if we've hired got a dime from anybody, then we give them a back. Is there any upfront money?
Upfront money.
typically a project has the capacity to pay meaningful money when it's generating electricity and generating revenue. So that would be in that 2028 timeframe. But in terms of investments in the community, we do have our community grant program. So that's something we actually look to the Chamber of Commerce or the commissioners or yourselves understand where's the greatest need so we can still contribute beforehand.
All right.
Where will y'all put the energy? Where will it go? Will it go on that transmission line?
That's a no.
It'll go, typically for a project this size, it would go on a transmission line that has the capacity of either 138 kV or 245.
Well, that one's over in that area, I'm assuming that has a little bit to do with where y'all are at.
Yes, sir.
I think that main one is on the west part of the county.
So my other question is, from what I'm hearing from different folks is, most of the wind turbines will be to the west of that emission line, and most of the solar farms will be to the east.
I can't speak for the other developers. We do solar as well. So we're excited about both technologies, but there are quite a few solar projects right now in ERCOT.
And they're all on the west side, I think most of them.
Yeah, we got about 6 or 7.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure.
Appreciate
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for your attention.
Anyone else? If not, we'll go to item number 1 to approve the minutes of the May 1st, May 3rd, May 8th meetings. budget transfers and amendments. Got one sheet.
Make a motion to accept budget transfers and amendments.
I second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? No, motion carries. Item number 3 is to approve and pay the bills.
I second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? No, motion carries. Item number 4 is approval of payroll.
Yeah, I've got one right here. I looked at it. Ready to go. Yeah.
We have signed.
No.
Here it is, right there, Lou.
Oh,
You
okay.
need to put it up there.
There you go. Motion.
I make a motion to approve. Payroll.
There.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? No, motion carries. Item number 5 is reports. I have an IT report, a senior services report, a county clerk report for April, these are all April, and JP3 receipts report, tax office, elections for April, district clerk for April, and extension service for April. This also shows the plans for May. A lot going on there, considering next month is there. Any other reports? If not, do we have a motion to accept the reports?
I make the motion to accept the report.
I second.
All in favor, aye. Motion carried, thank you. Item number 6, burn ban.
No action.
Item number 7, road use agreements.
I have a road use agreement, if I can find it here, with Watkins. They're gonna be using, Andy and them are gonna be using a little short piece of County Road 1081, and I mean, it's just a very small distance. And we've talked about it, and I've approved the road use agreement and without a bond, since it's not much, and they said they'd take care of it. That's just for this project. That's the other gentleman over here.
Another deal.
He's
Different deal, okay.
He's under a whole other deal.
Okay. Is that a motion?
That's my motion.
All in favor, aye. Yes, a second, all in favor, aye. Motion carried.
I don't know how you go about it now.
Motion is to approve road use agreement on 1081 for Atlas.
Watkins.
Watkins. I saw your hat, that's what I'm okay. Do we have another?
That's the only one we're doing. That's the only one.
That's the only one, okay, thank you. And we will go to okay, item number 8 is to approve bonds and education certificates. D.G. Young, Auditors Institute, from Crava. Cybersecurity, Holly King, Michelle Wynn, Amanda McAfee, Maria Munoz, Lori Bosley, Vivian Chap, Melissa Lynch, Dan Ralston. Does anyone else have a bond or education certificate? If not, do we have a motion to accept these?
I make that motion. Second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Item number 9 is Texas Association of Counties Property Insurance Policy. Did you have a little handout there for 24 and for the year of 25? The 24 goes through July the 1st. Pardon?
Went up 11,000?
Yeah.
Went up 11,000.
Of course, you know, the property, we purchased several pieces of equipment, that property, for the new tax office, several things in there. Plus, you know, told us, you know, it's gonna, everything's going up anyway, but we've added to that, so. We've got all the fire trucks and all, we've got lots of property.
Cheap, isn't it?
I mean, for me, I think
For everybody.
what all we have
Considering,
covered.
yeah, it is.
Pretty cheap
It's
compared to
still,
my house.
Lot of
Stuff
value,
goes up.
lot of, I'm telling you, insurance really has.
What I'm talking about.
All of our buildings and everything.
Equipment.
that's still a lot of, it's a lot of increase when the covered value only went up $500,000.
Right. But they said to add 10%.
increase.
I think Todd Kiesel had been telling me, you know, every year to add 10%. So, because of all the storms and all the things that they've had just in the whole area, he said it would go up. He said just allow 10%.
It's closer to 20 than it is 10.
Yeah.
Discussion.
What do we do?
It's a runaway train.
You glad it's not more than that?
That's the way that.
And then we can
I
get-
mean, but that's what
You
you.
need a motion to accept this, is that what we need? I'll make a motion.
With Pat.
Yes, ma'am.
Second.
All those ayes. Any opposed? No, motion carried. Item number 10 is a presentation on Techstar and Logic, local government investment pools.
Good morning, Mr.
Good
President.
morning. Yes, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you so much for having me today. Jamie, thank you so much as well for all your help. I work for Hilltop Securities. We are a full-service municipal investment firm. We've been in business for about 75 years now. And we do everything from helping structure bond issuance to then underwriting those bonds to then investing any public funds as well. That's where I come in, specifically in the governmental pools department. I do get asked sometimes, what is a governmental pool? Best way I would explain that is a money market fund that is created specifically for governmental entities. So our only clients are counties, school districts, cities, and appraisal districts, water districts, governmental entities of that nature. We have two different pools, Techstar and Logic. Both we co-administer with JP Morgan. So the way that relationship works is Hilltop, we are the operations, we're the marketing, we're the client facing, and then JP Morgan is actually our money manager. So they do all the day-to-day money movement. As y'all might be aware, they are the #1 short-term liquidity manager in the country, so we feel very proud and happy to be in partnership with them. A couple pros of the two pools that are similar between the two in order is first and foremost preservation of capital is the #1 goal of both the pools. We just as well as JP Morgan understand these are public funds. Any loss, any cent is completely unacceptable. Second, it is full 100% same day liquidity. So if we get an order to take money out, put money in before 4 o'clock central, that request will happen the same day. Again, we know that especially counties, cities, right, y'all need operating funds and things happen last second and you need access to that money. So there's 100% same full day liquidity. Also, it provides a higher yield than most local banks, at least what we found. Currently, Techstar is 5.30%, and Logic is 5.42%. There's also no minimums, there's no balances. I used to work on the bank side for JP Morgan, and I know how banks like to nickel and dime sometimes. There's nothing of that nature. So there's no ACH fees, there's no wire fees, and again, no minimums or balances. Another thing on the conservative nature of everything, if you read the Public Funds Investment Act, it does only not recommend investing in pools in general, but actually diversifying over a couple of pools. I did bring a couple references, so I cover mostly East Texas. We do have 4 reps that divide the state. We manage between the 2 pools $28 billion at peak season. And just in my territory alone, some of my clients are Harrison County, Collin County, Grayson County, Dallas. So we definitely work with entities big and small. The biggest difference between the 2 pools is Techstar only invests in U.S. Treasuries, agencies, and repurchase agreements. So that pool is backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government. Our Logic pool, because the rate is a little bit higher, is because it has A1P1 commercial paper in there, which is the highest rated corporate debt that we could have. And both pools are rated AAA by the S&P. I do think, especially given the interest rate environment that we're in right now, I joke it's a terrible time to be a first-time home buyer, but it's a really good time to be in public finance because these rates are really good. And I'd love to help you all diversify and take advantage of that while we can. I'd love to answer any questions as well.
Again, now the Star, Texas Star is government guaranteed.
Correct. It's only U.S. Treasuries and agencies in there.
Okay.
Is it 530
5.3, yes, sir.
and then 542?
542.
You have left us some information here.
And it's squishy. It's perfectly shaped to fit fingers. I don't understand why they make all the squishy balls. We made it a star.
Yeah. I need one up here. I think we all do.
Good time for a stress ball.
Yes, it
Last few
is.
weeks.
Yes, it is. All right, well, we will be reviewing some of these, I think, through our investment committee, and we'll get back to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
We do need to have a meeting too. Item number 11 is an order authorizing Memorial Day fireworks.
I'll make a motion.
To authorize having Memorial Day fireworks.
What are we gonna pop this year, Andy? Fins and feathers and all that other stuff?
Everything today, yes. Fins with tails, I think. Is flag. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? None, motion carried. Item number 12 is discuss and take possible action on contract renewal with Pritchard and Allen for the tax office.
Morning, court. It's time once again to hopefully renew my Pritchard and Abbott contract. They're our tax collection software group. They're an integral part of what we do, and they've gone up over last year 7.5%. I was expecting that due to just the cost of software, hardware. They maintain all of our computers in the office, all of our software that we use, not QuickBooks, but Excel, Word, all that kind of stuff they provide for us. And then licenses to their software. There's 7 users in the office, myself included, and then the 2 attorney groups each have a license now. And if you have any questions, I'll answer them the best I can.
Do we have a deal on it?
I believe you have the contract in front of you. I did compare it with the previous contract, word by word. I can't find any change in the verbiage, just the increase in the rate.
From $139,650 to $143,640. Yes.
We get theirs.
Well, that's going to be this year, next year, and then the 2 years after that. From the previous contract, 23-24 was $129,940. So it's gone from that to the 139,650, which is about a 7.5% increase. And then they're proposing for 25, 26, 143,640, which represents just about a 3% increase.
That 25, 26, that's just a kind of a prediction? Or this contract?
No, that's part of this
So the
contract.
contract would extend to the end of 26?
Looking at it for the 25, 26 years.
It'd be nice to lock that in.
I don't know why it's July 1st of 24 through.
Well, it makes it look like we're doing this a year early.
It does, yeah.
Yeah,
Because the 24, 25, and then the 25, 26. But it's a proposal also.
But can
And I realize there's two more quarters in here, and I didn't question about that, but it looks like they're just keeping the same rate going on into the latter part of it.
Yeah, like you said.
Well,
lock it
if
in.
we vote to do this, would we lock in that 143,000 for the 25, 26, that would be locked in?
Through the end of 26.
Yeah.
Or would it be through July 1st, 26?
still like the court.
I can't imagine it wouldn't be past July, but I see how that reads.
Well, this agreement that we're signing shows through December 31st, 2026 on this. Do you have a- Yeah. Computer
So right now-
system lease and license agreements, July 1st of 24 through December 31st of 26.
That's like 2.5 years.
No. It's a little different.
Yeah, I don't know why they did it like that. I didn't question it, but
Half of 24, all of 25, and all of 26.
It's only a $3,000 something increase.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
for
a
the
lot of
other
that,
units.
it'd be real good.
Well, that's what it says,
That's
through
what we're
December
doing.
26.
It's gonna be $3,990 increase over from what it is now
Two and a half years.
to December 31st of 2026.
I mean, we are locking it
So
in
our
for good.
current contract with them expires June 30th, I guess?
correct.
Okay.
In the previous cycle, it was a 2-year contract, July through July, 2 years later. Why they've gone through the end of the year,
Maybe it's-
I don't know. But I think that, locking in for 2 years is certainly a good thing. I think that's one reason they had to do the increase that they did for 24, 25, because a lot has happened in the last 2 years.
I was just say, their first increase is understandable, and then the 25 to 26 is extremely reasonable, so.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Second. As long as the
Anything else? It looks strange with the
reads this
dates.
contract.
And I can get some clarifications before you sign. I'd be happy to do that if you'd like.
But this contract is, you've read it, and it's basically the same contract that we've
Yes.
always had.
Yes, ma'am, I went line by line, and I didn't see a single change.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye?
Uh,
Any opposed? None. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 13 is to discuss drug testing policy and reporting of drug test results. We did get a couple of printouts on some suggested language, but I think we need to look a little more, and I did not get down and talk to the hospital about what they require, and I don't have enough information on that yet, so if we table that to the next
Sure,
one.
I talked to that Haley lady, the HR person in TAC.
Yes,
She said that she'd be glad to help us with the,
we have gotten that.
okay.
We have gotten that language from them, but I would really like for us to talk to the hospital, the testing people, and see what questions they ask, and just be sure that we're covered with all of that. That's-
I'll make a motion, we table that.
Thank you.
Second.
Item number 14, cybersecurity, are we ready on that?
I am. This is strictly for review process at this point. You guys put in input, thoughts, review it at, not this meeting obviously, future time. On the SASE and some of the other firewall type applications. I'm going to get that, I haven't got the quote back yet, it's been delayed for unknown reason. But I'll be at this conference next week and we'll be talking to some people there, so we can get some additional quotes on that. So it's, there's policies around acceptable use of the IT equipment and such. So just in your, just mark up, copy, and fix it up.
Do you want us to table it, or do you want us to wait until you get information and you tell us to put it back on the agenda?
On this document, or on looking on the document, because the policies and procedures are probably going to be coming in waves. Probably each commissioner's court price tries to submit a small package like this for review instead of getting a big binder full of stuff. So we
All
can
right,
see.
do we have a motion to table?
Motion to table.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Item number 15, e-force. Is there any discussion on that for today?
Well, I did speak to Ken, who was here, that delivered the information on the E4s and originally who I talked to at the beginning, to see if he could be here today, like you requested. They didn't have anybody that could be here today, but they sent me an email advising that they would be more than glad to try to get on a, what do you call it? Conference call. Yeah, with the DA, the district clerk's, or the county clerk's office, whoever wanted to be on it. That way we can discuss the system, discuss who they already integrate with, what they think might be best. You know, that's up to the DA and the clerk, you know, as far as what they think would work best in their office. But he's willing to do that. We just need to get a date and time so I can email him back and tell him a date and time that we can kind of sit down and just see what he's got to say in regards to that, so that they can make the decision, I guess, for what they might want in their office that work with
Just
E4.
saying,
I was on a phone call with Force yesterday and talking about Jeremy and the conference call. They're certainly open to a conference call. They reiterated that they're not going to have a solution. The solution is going to probably be from another vendor. We just got to make sure that we can have an API joining those systems together. I've got a list of those, I say a list, short list of those systems that are available. Hill Country is one of them. Tyler Technologies could be one of them. So from the E4 side of it, they're kind of done. We just need to make sure that there's the capability for whatever system we select to be able to merge it together.
So would we not be better off to let those other companies present, and then once we
Yes,
choose one,
we've
then
got-
just follow up with E-Force, did they approve of that company and that they're currently using that?
Correct. And I've got two companies on schedule. One is for June the 13th, I believe it is, and another one I'm trying to get on the calendar for the end of this month. And both of those can work with the API with E-Force.
Well, we will just, would that be, could we combine cybersecurity, no, not cybersecurity, but
E-Force really is kind of done from from a court's standpoint, what we got to look at is what software is available and present that to the court. And at that point, we'll ensure that it's compatible with
it's
E-Force.
no action on E-Force for today. number 16 is SB 22 workshop for the sheriff's department. Well, I guess we could take if there's anything on any of the other departments we could talk about. But, let's get something on this.
Anybody that's already spoke, that needs to go somewhere you can, because it's
Ready to get started?
ready to stay.